Greg Smith here with Inside Nebraska, senior recruiting analyst. And boy, did the Huskers give more good news today. At the kickoff 4th of July weekend, they got some fireworks. I had to make that joke. As four-star wide receiver Jacory Barney Jr. out of Miami committed to the Huskers. And here are my three thoughts on the commitment. First things first, the Huskers are getting a fantastic player in Barney. It was tough competition out there. He had over 35 scholarship offers to his name. So anytime you have an elite talent like that out of South Florida, you know there's going to be a lot of good schools in on him. Who's who of college football from around the country was in on him. And part of the reason for that is that Barney fits into any scheme, right? He's got good enough size, about 6 foot, 170 pounds, maybe 6'1". He plays bigger than his size, though. You can see that he can make difficult catches in traffic if you watch his film or see him in 7-on-7. He's also electric with the ball in his hands after the catch, and it's really slippery and can make guys miss. He's also got elite football speed out there as well. So he's kind of the complete package at wide receiver, a little bit slight. I do think he's going to get bigger at the college level with strength coach Corey Campbell and that nutrition staff over at Nebraska. But Nebraska got a really good, talented player out of Barney in South Florida. The second thought that I have is this is a huge win for Garrett McGuire, Nebraska's wide receivers coach, who is not so quietly having himself a heck of a recruiting run here after landing Davon Hall and Isaiah McMorris out of Bellevue West, also locking down the big target Quinn Clark out of Montana. Barney becomes the fourth wide receiver that McGuire has gotten in this 2024 recruiting class, and he's starting to put together a nice resume of being able to get guys. But the really interesting thing is, too, a couple of things, actually. One, all of these guys have different skill sets, right? As each of those guys that are now in the class, Barney being the latest one, they all have varied skill sets. None of them really look exactly the same. So that should help Nebraska's offense, a team that wants to be a little bit more versatile and unpredictable on offense for Marcus Satterfield and Matt Rule. I think that's a really good thing for them. The other thing when it comes to McGuire is that Barney gave our John Garcia at Rivals a really great quote about him and said, quote, "Coach McGuire, that's my guy. Being that he played football, he coached in the league, he's on the younger side, and he's someone that he can feel where I'm coming from. He's just got it. I believe that he can develop me. I feel like Coach McGuire's got it all, so he can prepare me for the league one day. He's already prepared me for the receivers that he's coached, like Tyquan Thornton when they were at Baylor." High praise from Barney, from Coach McGuire, just the latest recruit to give McGuire some high praise out there. Like I said, he's starting to build himself a nice resume. And my final point is that Nebraska has quietly made some really nice connections down in South Florida. And that'll be part of the thing that's interesting and kind of holding on to this commitment by Jacory Barney today, is you got to understand that most of those Florida schools, including Miami, who he picked Nebraska over, will likely continue to recruit him hard, especially those ones that are right there, like Miami and Florida State, some of those others that are nearby. And so Nebraska will need to keep strong connections going with him. And luckily they do have that. Bill Simpson, who is the defensive quality control coach for Nebraska, used to be a coach down there in South Florida. Dwight Boodle, who is currently on the team as a cornerback, he was high school teammates with Barney. Willis McGahee IV, who is in Nebraska's 2024 class, also was teammates with Barney at Miami Palmetto. He's now since transferred, but they know each other well. And for good measure, Corey Collier, defensive back on Nebraska's team right now, also went to Palmetto. So there's some familiarity there that should be able to help Nebraska hold on to that recruitment that I'm sure that they're going to be battling to hold on to the entire way, all the way through the December signing period. But for now, it is a huge pickup for Nebraska and a big-time four-star commitment that continues to push Nebraska up the recruiting rankings after there was so much hand-wringing about that earlier in the month. The Huskers are right on track to have another top 20 class. Matt Rule's first at Nebraska, obviously, and they continue to still have more targets out there like Grant Bricks and others. And that's going to do it for us this time with three thoughts. Make sure you like this video up, subscribe to the channel so you can get these videos directly into your feed. Also, make sure you pop over to InsideNebraska.com. We've got full coverage of this commitment and all the other things happening in Nebraska football and recruiting, and I'll catch you guys next time.